Well, we've talked about it a few times. We brought you the launch live to air 25 days ago. That historic new NASA moon mission without a crew has successfully come back down to this planet. Over the journey, the Orion spacecraft orbited the moon several times, getting as close as 130 kilometres to the lunar surface. Let's take a look at that spectacular moment when Orion splashed down.
Flight Dynamics reports Orion straight and narrow on a true course toward its splashdown site, 150,000 feet off the ocean. Orion now traveling at Mach 10. We have 3 fully inflated main chutes, 500 feet. Splashdown. From Tranquility Base to Taurus Littrow to the tranquil waters of the Pacific, the latest chapter of NASA's journey to the moon comes to a close. Orion, back on Earth.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. The mission formed the first part of the Artemis program, which aims to send astronauts back to the moon in 2024. Let's bring in ANU astrophysicist Dr. Brad Tucker again. Brad, it was great to see it was successful. Interesting to hear them talking about Mach 10 there at one stage, 10 times the speed of sound, but obviously a lot slower by the time it splashed down in the ocean. And this is all about testing to see how safe this craft was going to be and this landing, re-entry was going to be for humans, for astronauts.
Exactly, that's right. They had to go from 40,000 kilometers an hour to 35 kilometers an hour. That's pulling the handbrake, that's really hitting the brakes there. And this was kind of the final part of the test. As you said, got the launch going, got to the moon successfully, orbited their plane. Takeoff and landing is really the trickiest bits. That return is the trickiest bit. And so far, it looked like it was a success.
And we'll get more detail, of course, as they do their analysis of what went on. Apart from testing out this whole rocket system and the re-entry system, the capsule, were there any experiments conducted on this flight, given it was in space for more than 3 weeks? Oh.
Yeah, look, they actually had 10 satellites that hitched a ride around to the moon. It's all right. It's sometimes transmitting from the moon is a bit tricky. So they had satellites that hitched a ride to the moon. And so they've been doing data. They have satellites looking on the lunar surface right now, measuring the ice composition. And then the data from the dummies inside will tell us about not just how safe it was, but what conditions they were exposed to, so future astronauts can plan what it's going to be like to spend this 3 to 6 months in space, because the Apollo astronauts only spent a few weeks.
Brad, we'll have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us. Brad Tucker there, astrophysicist with the ANU. As you would have heard, we had a pretty daggy connection with him. We get celebrating the success of that mission, the Artemis mission, which is going to take people to the moon again. It'll be the first woman on the moon. We had a bit of trouble with our normal sort of up to the satellite and back down again stuff that we've all become very blasé about. But great to hear Brad again on that. And we'll be hearing his plans about who's going to be on board and when the next mission is going to be away.